So investigators say that Eric actually changed his own life insurance policy and will because he feared his wife was going to kill him. In your mind, does this clearly speak to possible motive?
Allah, Buddha, every deity needs to protect you. That is the eyes of a man that knew. That's the eyes of a man that knew. He knew something. He knew it. It's the same as that guy who knew his wife was trying to divorce him and take half, so he changed everything to his mom's name. Wow. He did it for, he did it for his kids. Like this, get out of the situation. This is what I'm talking about. Get out of the situation. Okay, let us dive into this next video clip. It's an interesting one because it's a video that I saw last week in the news, and it's about this author who wrote this book, this woman who wrote this book about her husband and his passing, and it was to help her children grieve. And what you find out later is that she might have had a hand in his murder. So let's dive in and see what is going on.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
Jennifer, we are looking at just a mountain of evidence in this case, and now information on the couple's financial trouble. So investigators say that Eric actually changed his own life insurance policy and will because he feared his wife was going to kill him. In your mind, does this clearly speak to possible motive?
Yes, and not only possible motive, the evidence really keeps mounting. Recently, there was a party held after the alleged sale of their house, which they had arguments about. And I think that also ties into the motive. This was largely financial.
Oh, she wanted the money?
As we mentioned, our News Nation affiliate in Utah actually sat down with the now accused killer weeks before her arrest when she was promoting that new children's book that she published on grief. Now, one of the interviewers spoke with our Dan Abrams about what happened after the interview. Let's listen quickly.
Jesus, Allah, Buddha, every deity needs to protect you. Some people need this man. That is the eyes of a man that knew. That's the eyes of a man that knew. He knew something. He knew it. It's the same as that guy who knew his wife was trying to divorce him and take half, so he changed everything to his mom's name. Wow. Hey, he did it for, he did it for his kids. What kind of life? But get out. Like this, get out of the situation. This is what I'm talking about. Get out of the situation. It's hard to say that now because he may have not, it's like, I want to say he may have not known she was willing to go that far, or it was too late by the time he had found out. But this guy need to have gotten out. Like, it's wow. This is such a hard story because you know that the law and his kids, right? Like, you know that it's so much more biased to the woman's side that she would get the kids and he wouldn't be able to do anything about it. His life would be safe, but then you don't know about the kids. So he did, man, this one's tough. This lady is so callous.
An email comes into the station that's totally anonymous, but it says, she killed her husband. We all kind of looked at that didn't think much of it at the time. We get a lot of crazy emails at times. Then a couple of days later, I got a personal
me and the host got the same face
from an account that I don't know. You couldn't really see who it was, but it said, "You need to investigate her. She's a suspect in her husband's murder." So at this time, we're starting to think, what is going on? But didn't know anything until everyone found out when this went public on Monday.
So some viewers apparently suspected Corey had something to do with her husband's death. Why do you think it took a full year for investigators to make an arrest?
Because
here?
the police, they have to follow procedure.
In a situation
they
like
can't
this.
just jump in.
You're looking at fentanyl, which
they gotta
some
test
people
it,
actually use
autopsy.
fentanyl, certainly not in 5 times the
Okay,
dosage.
see the thing is, okay, I'm not the biggest, rah police guy in the world. But sometimes some of these questions be like, really? Why did it take him so long? I don't know, because regular people aren't doing full-blown investigations, you asshole. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, why would you think that the police's job is actively to just let murderers, that's what they want to do, is like, all right, cool, she's gonna murder him and we're gonna just like that's not cool. All right, that doesn't do anything. If you're gonna be okay, this is what it took for them to do. You don't know the facts, so don't jump in a conclusion. That's my little tirade. But this lady is crazy. Not this lady on screen. The lady who
but
killed
they
her
had a
husband.
lot of investigation to do. I'm sure they're also peeling
My
back
goodness.
the layers of the digital evidence as well, even though we don't see that very specifically defined in the affidavit. Also, interviews.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they got.
on the toxicology.
Why did it take them so long to do?
Longer than the autopsy.
I don't know,
So
because
it took
they had a
while
job
for investigators,
to do,
but I think
procedures.
They have their woman.
Yeah,
I mean, talk a little bit about this.
This lady, like, what, to just go on the show? She's casually sitting there, just chatting it up with the host, chatting it up about this book on grief that I wrote to help my children deal with the death of their father, even though I'm the one who murdered him. Man, this is frightening to me that there are people that, like, the thing is, you never know what people are capable of. Like, that's the scary thing. It's like, you don't know what's in people's minds. Like, you don't know. Looks normal. You walk at Trader Joe's, you'd see this lady go, normal lady, wouldn't kill her husband with an overdose of fentanyl.
How unusual would it be for someone who actually committed this crime to do a book tour about the grief that she and her family.
A book tour. That's tough. That's a new level. How I kill you? Write a book, then do a tour. Hey, that's like a rapper. It's like a lot of them. That's what rappers be doing that. Kill somebody, write a song, hit song, and then just do a tour off the hit song until they get arrested. Then YNW Melly do something like that, like. So this is the suburban version. YNW Karen over here. Jesus.
Are experiencing.
Well, it would seem this is so premeditated and thought out, and I don't doubt.
Imagine the artist. Imagine the person who had to, like, take this order. Just
out in one bit that perhaps this book was even part of her plan from early on. Remember, we have other attempts on his life, and now this attempt. And the fact that everything was just so well planned, this is like, he probably found the book. He probably found the book and was like, okay, gotta make things happen real quick. Gotta save what I can save. See, that's the difference. He was willing to do what needed to be done, even though he knew he didn't have a lot of time left. That's tough. That's a tough existence. Like, I can't imagine him knowing, oh yeah, she's gonna go through with it.
Like, because in the back of his mind, because he's been poisoned before from what they're saying, so she's been trying to poison him, so he's been suspecting, but like, he's like, maybe she's getting me sick, maybe she's not getting me sick, maybe I'm just thinking it, like, just in case we arguing all the time, let me get my money out, let me hedge, you know. And lo and behold, she was the one, she was the culprit, she was the snake in the garden.
For the fentanyl, she had, very specific way she put it in a Moscow Mule for him to drink. I just feel like this woman had everything well planned out, and so much was money oriented.
And we're talking about the mounting evidence against Corey Richins right now. We know investigators say she did purchase the fentanyl pills. She also deleted messages from her phone the night of the murder, the alleged murder. What will her defense likely look like? How does one explain this away?
It's going to be difficult, but they're going to take each little element and just try to find an ulterior reason why she would have had fentanyl. Maybe she had an injury, or she, I believe, told the drug dealer at first it was for back pain, and that she really didn't realize the amount of dosage that Moscow Mule was really made for her, but her husband took it and drank it. They will find ways to meander around the evidence to point away from her.
And Richins, meanwhile, she sits behind bars after publishing that book in March. With all of this happening in the background, is she still making money off of the death of her husband through this book?
Well, I'm so happy to see that Amazon removed the book. I would believe that other distributors have also removed that book. There is no way she should be making money or profiting from this book, considering all the facts we know and the facts she is charged.
If Eric was suspicious enough, as the prosecution is trying to say, that his wife might kill him, that he did make those changes, cutting her out of the life insurance policy, etc., why would he accept a drink from her? I mean, is that typical behavior from someone who fears for their life?
He probably didn't know he probably ain't know how she was giving it to him. Because it could have been tea, it could have been drinks,
they don't want to believe the woman they were married to for 9 years and had children with.
This lady's spinning
could possibly really do this. And so again, people doubt themselves and doubt their intuition. And I just believe he let his guard down that night. This was right before Valentine's Day, and unfortunately took that lethal cocktail.
Okay, Corey Richins' next court date will be on May 19th. I know you'll be trying.
That is super, super unfortunate. I just feel so bad for the kids in this situation, that family, and it's so sad that that's how he had to go. Like, that's how he had to spend the last moments of his life, the last years of his life, planning a way to give his kids a life without a woman that was attempting to murder him and eventually succeeded. It's tough, man. It's relationships are tough, super tough. So if you got a good one, hold on tight. Hold on tight, because there are some crazies out there. Crazies. Man, I hope you don't find one of them. Hey, you better tune in, because it's the damn news.